I am honored to present Dr. Nathaniel J. Williams as a candidate for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters.
Dr. Williams, would you please stand and step forward? Okay. Okay. In recognition of your extraordinary achievements in support of children in foster care and higher education, for your work as Chief Executive Officer of Child Promise, Inc. of Philadelphia, for your partnership with Kutztown University to create the Providing Resources and Opportunities for Future Standouts (PROFS) program to assist young adults who age out of the foster care system, for your support from Child Promise in approving more than $59,000 in funding for the first year of the KU PROFS program, and about $500,000 by the end of 2021, for your work as Chief Executive, Chief Officer of Human Works Affiliates, Inc., a cluster of 8 human services corporations since 1993, for your work with organizations serving adults with mental challenges, developmental disabilities, and dependent children, for your dedication as an author, motivational speaker, adjunct professor, and board and advisory service throughout Southeast Pennsylvania, and for your perseverance in serving as an example through your own personal life journey to contribute to the society in support of children, most particularly those in foster care. In recognition of this and so much more, Kutztown University of Pennsylvania hereby confers upon you, Dr. Nathaniel J. Williams, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, this 7th day of May, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to present to you our Honorary Doctorate of Humane Letters, Dr. Nathaniel J. Williams.
Thank you so much, President Hawkinson. Thank you so much to the Assistant Dean for her kind words. Last night, I have a doctorate in education, so I have a blue hood, and my poor sister-in-law stood up all night ironing it. And then I got here, and Dr. Hawkinson says, you don't have a hood. So I have a nice, pretty hood in the dressing room, but I think I'm going out with a pretty good one in this one, so thank you. So again, thank you, Dr. Courtney Golden, for that generous introduction. Thank you to Kutztown University, the Council of Trustees, President Hawkinson. I was hoping that former Provost Dr. Zayetz, who was a real champion for the PROFS program, would be joining us tonight, but she's not here. Also, Dr. Carol Wells, who is your interim provost, has also been a champion of the program, and we want to thank them. Also, there's a champion that we have in Dr. Warren Hilton, who's the Vice President of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management here at Kutztown. And when he got here 4 years ago and heard about the program, he was enthused, and I consider us co-founders in putting that PROFS program together. Often people say it's me, but it was us, and I do recognize that collaboration and appreciate that. Also, when I came here in 2007, I came here as a Frederick Douglass Institute Scholar in Residence, which is a program that tries to diversify the faculty. And so I was hoping one day to get hired. That's not happened. It's 14 years later, and I still don't got a job. But I think that what they realized, he came in 2007, he hasn't taught a class, he hasn't attended a class, but every time we offer food, he shows up. So they're hoping that they'll give me this award and I'll disappear. But we're here to stay. But again, thank the staff, the faculty, the administration, the alumni, the friends of Kutztown University that are here. Also, I want to thank you, the graduates, and your families for allowing me to share this day with you. I also want to make sure I thank the profs, success mentors, graduate assistants, and there's a lady, Sue Mangold, who is the staff that is assigned to the program. I want to thank them all for providing the support for the students that attend this university that are former foster kids or unparented. There are 30 of them at this university right now that are part of that program. And after this weekend, 13 of them would have graduated in that 4-year time. So let's give them a round of applause for that accomplishment. As was noted earlier, about 50% of America tries to go to college. 30% graduate. We have in the foster care system, sometimes on a good year, 10% try, 3% graduate. So we have our work cut out to close that gap, but I'm so honored that Kutztown University is willing to work diligently to make that happen. And it's also important that the Board of Child Promise is recognized for their support of this initiative. That $500,000 that we started out with, $59,000, is not my money. It is Child Promise's money, and the Child Promise was formerly Baptist Children's Services that closed its program, and we decided let's do something helpful, and that's where the PROS program came from. I also want to thank my wonderful wife, Tade, who has joined us, and we have 8 children. 7 of them are here tonight. So I want to make sure I thank Nathan, Devon, Jared, Kenya, Taj, Miles, and Tori, along with my daughter-in-law, Elizabeth, our 2 grandchildren, Ellie and Nay, my mother-in-law, who I saw waltzing in here a little bit late, Mary Thompson. I want to tell you a quick point about graduations. When you graduate from high school, everybody is killing themselves to come. You know, in Philadelphia, you'll get a camel. You'll get something real special. When you get to your associates and your bachelors, as you can see, the crowd gets a little thinner, all right? When you get to a doctorate, you are paying for people's tickets to come to your graduation. I won't even tell you what I had to do for this honorary degree. There's a bus outside where you have to bus people in just so you have a little group of people. And I think we have it backwards because, again, as Dr. Hawkinson noted, we should have more people in that 2% group. And I hope that by looking at myself and others that it inspires you to keep going, to keep trying. I want to also thank my virtual family and friends who are watching on YouTube and are celebrating with me and you through that medium. But I need to share a little story about my wonderful family. Earlier this week, I called my wife. She was in the car having just picked the kids up from school, and we were talking, and we got to the point about today, and she realized, I don't think I told the children about Friday. So she says, everybody quiet down. I want to tell you that on Friday, Daddy is graduating. And a collective sigh came over all 5 children in the car. And then one of them said, what is he graduating with now? You know, I'm thinking that I'm, setting as a role model, but my family taught me that's not the case. I'm going to have to try something new and something different. But I love them all. I appreciate you all being here. Sorry, sister-in-law Jovita, for ironing at 2 o'clock in the morning. My brothers, Juan and Gerald. I'm from a family of 12 children. and two of my brothers are able to join. My daughter Jeannie is celebrating with us from Atlanta virtually, but I thank them all for being with us. I hope that your response from your family and friends was a little bit more enthusiastic than mine when you called up and said, I think I'm clear to graduate. I pray that you had a better response. But if you hear that there was a whole family of children in Montgomery County that went into foster care on Friday, May 7th, you understand what happened, all right? Okay. But we have a program here at Kutztown. When you graduate, okay, family, you can come right here and you'll be eligible to, so it all works out. I know the response, okay, I said that already, I hope that it was full of love and admiration. I also understand that I stand between two things you don't want to stand between. Someone receiving their degree and eating. So I'm going to try to be quick to get to the other side because I see some looks out there that's like, buddy, you better pick it up here. So I'm gonna follow your lead. But I want to share with you something that I think is critically important to share with you. And I'm going to give you a number, and it's going to sound daunting, but it's not going to be that daunting. I want you to understand what you are experiencing today is a success that you need to understand must be repeated. And I want to try to give you a lens in which to look at what you have accomplished today so that you can keep repeating it. I know sometimes you see award shows and people taking pictures of a canvas behind them. That's called the step and repeat. You go from one canvas to another canvas to another canvas. You keep stepping and repeating the same thing. And I believe that success requires you to do the same thing. I want us to dissect, understand, and embrace, and keep repeating. And again, I want to share with you what I understand you did over the last several years. You'll see on the slide where it says, you are successful today because you focused on your is, because your is now. Those two letters, I and S, stand for the infrastructure of success. You built an infrastructure that made today possible. You did not trust the process. Everyone tells you to do that. You really didn't do that. You trusted the outcome of today. And that is why we all sit here in admiration of you and your accomplishment. That's point number one. Again, as we go through the 10 parts, the second thing that you did was you had faith. You believed the outcome was possible. And because of that, and an eventual settled spirit, you sit here today. Second major component, that's 5 things, is you had 5 closest friends, and they were not people. Those 5 closest friends were, you had a sense of humor. You learned eventually not to take things too seriously. Next, you had a sense of humility. You recognized, I'm not better than anyone else. Thirdly, you had optimism. You believed it was possible. Also along the way, you became mindful. You recognized, I can do this if I have a strategy. And you understood the role of empowerment, that I can do what's good for me and also help other people along the way. That's 6 so far. The last 4 are what I call the universal 4 M's. They are mapping, which means you have an idea of where you want to go. Mental health and wellness is number 2, that you have a healthy state of mind. And supported by that, you understand the role of mediation, that we all need help. 50% of the murders in the city of Philadelphia happen because of conflict with another person. It's mediation. We're going to be successful, we're going to recognize, we're going to run into problems, but we need to know where to go. And I think Kutztown University has given you a platform that if you are able to talk about it, there's someone here that has helped you be about addressing it. Last but not least is mentorship. That we stand on the shoulders of other people, and we need fellowship in order to get there. So if you keep stepping and repeating the sequence, the success you feel today will be yours daily. Last, I want to point out is the whole person. Part of the whole person is one of those parts is education. But this personal development, that you're working on being the best you can be. There is spirituality, what you believe in. There's your health. There's your education. There's your environment. There's your recreation. There's your family and friends. And there's your finances. Don't fall for this belief that just because you have a degree, you got it all. That's one of 8. Remember that you're here today celebrating your education with your family and friends. But also recognize you're going to need to take a little breather and recreate. You're going to need to make sure that when you go back to your environment that it's safe. Again, it's bringing all those things together. I am so proud of you. We all are so proud of each and every one of you. Please do me a favor, because I will not have a chance to embrace you. I want you to do something on my behalf. I want you to take this hand, all right, and I want you to cross it against your stomach. I want you to take that other hand and grab your arm, and I want you to squeeze it. I want you to know that that's the embrace we have for each and every one of you. We are extremely proud of what you've accomplished. But remembering the 10 things that got you here today was faith, humor, humility, optimism, mindfulness, empowerment, along with mapping, mental health and wellness, mediation, and mentorship. You did a lot. And if you can step and repeat with that in your future, you're going to continue the success you have experienced, culminating today. Thank you so much. I wish you Godspeed.
Thank you so much, Dr. Williams. Let's give another round of applause to Dr. Williams, please.